Good morning, everyone, and 1 year to go. It's just so exciting. I'm giddy. What a journey we've been on over recent years. It's amazing, actually, to think that it's 5 years ago since we launched the vision here at the college. We probably had about a quarter of the number of people here. We had lots of hope, lots of ambition, but I'm going to say a couple of things today that I thought we would never, ever say in Calderdale. Not because we couldn't do it, but because we had to lift the ambition. And I think we've lifted that ambition and we're now ready to deliver. And I'm going to go through some of the things we've done in the last year and some of the things that we might do next, and hopefully segue into what is going to be an incredible year next year. So that's Calderdale. You'll recognise where. We are a beautiful place. We are a special place. But there is so much more we can achieve, and I'll pick up some of that as we go on. So this is our vision babies, when they became our vision babies. And they've got a bit older now, and we're going to hear a bit more about that. But we recognise, as the leader said earlier, that the experience of our children in the first years of their lives fundamentally shapes their lives. And too often geography can be destiny, and the opportunities and ambition and aspiration cannot be for our children what they should be. And we are determined to change that. We have an aspiration that every 15-year-old achieves a larger life. All of us a larger life, a bigger life that's possible. And we're going to hear more about that. And that's in the context of, obviously, we've achieved a lot, that we've had the pandemic and all of us lived a smaller life. And we are determined to achieve our children's potential. And we are seeing the real benefits of that investment. I'm not going to read that, but you'll know that we've got a vision. You know there's 5 words, and we'll pick that up. I would just say that we are determined to hear unheard voices, not just the usual voices, who do need to be heard, but the unheard voices. And that's why we're doing the workshop today, but also doing a huge amount with Ideas Alliance about the next iteration of our vision. And we are determined that we all live a larger life. And Lucy Illingworth, 13 years old, Ravenscliffe student, won the piano, but she didn't just do that, which is the series on Channel 4, but she played at the coronation. So, anything is possible. And it says a lot about Calderdale, doesn't it? That we nurture talent and brilliance, and we give that opportunity to our young people. And there isn't much more powerful an image, as you may have seen on Coronation Day, than that, as she played before the nation and the world. And that's what we're about in Calderdale. And we're also, as the leader said, a place we want business to thrive in. And I didn't ever think I would say, this is one of the things I'm going to say, that we have just been identified as having the biggest growth in small business density in the UK, 70%. And that's about actually creating an environment where small business thrives and we play to our strengths. And if we want to be, as we were last week at UK Reef, talking about the Happy Valley, a place of darkness as well as light, if you've watched the TV show, we'll do that because we need to pitch for Calderdale to tell the truth of Calderdale. And the Corporate Peer Challenge, which will be published next week, will say that your vision is true and people believe it and they're ambitious. And I won't say much more about what it will say, but there aren't many places, and the team said this, where there was a level of authenticity to the vision. They said, the lead chief exec said to me, you could not have got people, you could have schooled them for weeks, you could not have got people to talk about the vision and the place and your objectives and your mission in the way you did. However well orchestrated it was real, it was from the heart. And we want businesses to thrive, create jobs, skill jobs, opportunities, and we are surrounded by excellent, strong cities, but we also want to create a place for Calder Valley within all of that. And we've repurposed our buildings, whether it's about the library that is now an outstanding former central library that wasn't necessarily universally supported in moving to where it is now. That's won multiple awards next to the outstanding Peace Hall that I'll come on to. But actually a building where we have clearly an anchor tenant and the RSA, but also an outstanding rated sixth form college, creating footfall and energy alongside this outstanding and brilliant college in Halifax, and how we are retaining talent in the borough and creating those opportunities and creating a different feel in our town centre. That as Civic Voice people came last week to say they could not believe the sense of vibrancy and energy of our town, and it's not an easy time for town centres right now. And we are determined, as the leader said, to tackle inequalities and create strong towns, but actually put those resources that might not be what we'd like them to be, because I don't think that we do think the Prosperity Fund is the resource that we need, but into the parts of the borough we want to tackle and support to create those opportunities for all and equity for all. And there we are last week to Councillor Swift, now Deputy Leader. This is lovely as the last speaking engagement as the leader with Jeremy, who's here, and Nikki, who can't be here today, but lovely that Sir Roger is here as Chair of the Trust, telling the story of Calderdale, getting into those conversations and getting out there into the world. A thriving event. We'll be back next year even bigger at UK Reef in Leeds. It's great that Leeds is hosting that for the UK, having that investment conversation and having that aspiration for our place. And also actually doing the tough stuff and really making a difference on the tough stuff, because at a time when inequalities are felt, the narrowing of the gap that we're starting to see for our children is real and evidenced, and we are determined to focus on that, because that will determine the real lived experience of our place. And opportunity in the sectors that need to grow. And we see creative industries. We see a strong manufacturing base as core. Manufacturing is not over. In the UK, or West Yorkshire, or Calderdale, we have a strong history. But also we recognise there are growing sectors, and you'll all know health and care. Many of you in that world, in this room, working with the college to develop a proposition for a good, proud career in health and care for our young people, because that's really important to the sustainability of our future. And that was launched at a previous event. So if people want to say, show me the reality of these meetings, show me the reality of these events, of the vision, we can point to that reality and talk about the lives that we're developing and supporting and changing. And some of the stats to support some of that, we have the evidence, the support in micro-business, the support in children achieving better around enterprising and talented. And yes, we are a place that's kind and resilient, and we've had those challenges, and we come back and we rise again. And we're not unique in those challenges, but we are near unique, I think, in our ability to recover from them and be determined to keep going. And when we launched the vision in 2018, kindness seemed to be quite an odd word for a council to be launching in partnership with its place. And it's a place vision, not just a council vision. But now it's recognised the role of being a kind place, a respectful place, which again you will see in the report next week is real. And that means actually playing our part proudly in actually supporting the international challenges that the world faces. 191 Ukrainians have come to Calderdale. 150 of those are adults and the rest are children. We've welcomed them through our brilliant sponsors, our Homes of Ukraine scheme. But we do much more than that. We are a place of welcoming from the world. We are a place of sanctuary. We will be announcing something really exciting next month about our cultural services, nationally recognised as a place of learning and sanctuary, but I won't preempt that. But what I will say is that we are, and we played a key part in this, the first integrated care board in the country to be an integrated care board of sanctuary, supporting migrant health and newly arrived communities from all over the world, playing our part, welcoming, recognising the talent that we have in the world and welcoming our communities to Calderdale. And that's been something part of who we are. And we're also a place, so migration, if you've all got breaking news on your phones, will have seen, is a live issue about half an hour ago. The other, obviously, grand challenge for the world is climate. I think Catherine's here in the audience, who's in the photo, who's a brilliant partner. Hello, Catherine. Brilliant partner for us in Lloyds Banking Group. And that's the visit. We had the mayor to visit. We had a number of visits to see what is the media loves this, don't you? And the mayor of West Yorkshire did love this. The deepest borehole in Europe to create a sustainable heat pump, repurposing that building, integrating the workforce of Lloyds Banking Group, a commitment to our town centre as our biggest employer into the long term. Remember, it's only a decade ago, just over, that we had the international banking crisis, and that investment in our place in a new world of agile working, but the core hub and core presence of Lloyds Banking Group in our space, but in a sustainable way and a long-term investment. And it's as deep as the Shard is high, if you know the Shard in London. So it doesn't look that special when you look at it, kind of, I must say, but the story is special. That's what's important. And it's a special story because we are committed to a net zero future and playing our part, because, as you know, we live the climate emergency in Calderdale. And the cost of living response. I know Sarah Richardson is here, many partners are here, Julie Robinson, our brilliant lead for our voluntary community sector, and supporting us to deal with what is a tragedy in many ways, and what Chris Whitty said when I was in a meeting with him a year ago is a pandemic of poverty and inequality that's in many ways greater than the one that we've all lived through. But we are determined to enhance income, opportunity, and support what has been a relentless round of funding. We know many people aren't necessarily claiming the support they can get. We know that the impact of this falls unequally in our places and also across all of our towns. It's across all of our towns. So, and it was lovely to, as I said, I'm very blessed to work here. There aren't many chief execs that walk into a room of voluntary sector people right now and get a big hug from one of the voluntary sector leaders, which was not really about me, but about the team in the council, and Julie from Calder Cares, who are repurposing a former information centre in Hebden Bridge into a support place for Calder communities in Hebden Bridge, supporting food banks, support to the cost of living. So much work through the Anti-Poverty Partnership, so much to be proud about. And so much work through our work with faith communities, and our leader mentioned this, and I know our vice chair of our faith network is with us today, and we have now worked in long partnership with the mosque, and this is a brilliant initiative in central Halifax. Over 1 million parcels have been distributed of food by the brilliant people supporting Halifax Community Fridge, and over 100 families are supported every week through the Community Fridge. It's simple, it's effective, and it makes a difference. And that basic stuff is really important. So, thank you. Yeah. Real congratulations to the colleagues in the mosque and in our faith communities for playing their part. We are open and welcome to the role of our faith communities when times are hard. And some of the evidence there about getting more active, playing a part in the community, and narrowing the gap. And we are distinctive, because there isn't anywhere else, I'd say, in the UK that has a building that looks like that. And it looks quite as impressive. One thing about the winter is the nights are dark, but it is always quite moving just to walk through that building on the way to the station. And we have light evenings now, but it is special, and I'm going to come back to that. And we are distinctive. And that word works, doesn't it? Because it's something about the combination of what we have that is quite distinct. Because, as the leader said, we are a hotspot for film. And we actually had a visit from the Environment Agency recently, the interim chief exec, and that's the kind of people that are coming to see Calderdale now. And we are working in national conversations in a national way because people are interested and curious. And it did end up walking through and wanting to see where was the street that Sarah lived on, and talking to him about the experience of the impact of that. And as you've heard from the leader, this is just the beginning. There's much more to come. And the Peace Hall effect. So, and I'm glad I spoke to Sir Roger this morning, because it's actually 110,000 tickets sold, I believe, for the summer concerts. And I just love the buzz of the fact there's a release of a few more tickets. And just seeing the social media chat and all the people linking to, well, let's try and get tickets for this. And the energy around all of this is phenomenal. And it's a space where I don't think any artist can quite experience a performance like they do there. And watch this space, I believe, because 24 is going to be a special year for all of us, but the Peace Hall is really going to play a lead part in that. And we are seeing a level of footfall that is equaling any other destination in Yorkshire and Humber. And I know Civic Voice held their national event there at the weekend, and it is a heritage destination as well as an entertainment destination and a place to be. And the level of loyalty and the impact now is incredible. But it's part of a vibrant visitor economy, worth now over 400 million to our place. And it's all of the elements of the place. So it is the Peace Hall, it is the screen and film story, it is Brig House and the excitement plans of the 19 million of investment through the Towns Fund that we launched the consultation about yesterday. It is, the weekend festivals. It is Toddenham, which had a brilliant 35 years celebration of the Toddenham Information Centre last weekend. It is Mythe Royd, and I'll come on to Mythe Royd, but it is the whole of the borough. It's all of the varied experiences that create the darkness and light of our place that makes us special. And there's some of the evidence of the impact that we are going to go even further on next year, I believe. So, just to end with some news, as always, some things to announce that are exciting. Just one thing to announce, it's not on the board, but we creativity, health, well-being, economy, jobs, how you feel, it's all connected, it's all one thing. One of the joys of the opportunities of linking the local government world, the NHS world, voluntary sector, is it's all one thing. It's all connected. And our arts sector play a real part in that, and we are going to, in the Year of Culture, bring arts and health together, because creativity in arts helps people's mental health, it gives people hope, it gives people ambition, and we can do some really practical things. Sammy's in the audience. Sammy, are you here? Sammy's there with a hand up. Talk to Sammy. Sammy works at Artworks, a real example of our mental health trust developing an arts provision with people with mental health issues, and we do have significant challenges around mental health issues and demand, and people will talk about how, and literally Debbie will talk about how Artworks saved her life, experiencing serious mental health issues. They are developing well-being packs. Talk to Sammy, play a part, let's contribute to those, and that's bringing simple support through arts, through creativity and through culture around the things that are really important in terms of people having food to eat, opportunities for jobs and hope. So, just to add on Scream and Film, next Wednesday, Gallows Pole Episode 1 is on your box. BBC One, first of 3, The Coiners. What a story of Calderdale. The king sending up his man to deal with the self-appointed king of Calderdale, King David. If you've read the book, it's going to be pretty gritty. I know words we don't say so much this year, but it is going to be pretty gritty, I'd say. And Shane Meadows directing it, I don't think will hold back from that. So you may have to wince a bit, but it's a wonderful story. And we also have a certain screen drama which has a certain actor from Trainspotting and Star Wars involved in that you may have seen, filming now. We can't use the town hall the next couple of weeks because we've got a major drama. We've got Marvel from the Peace Hall, Samuel Jackson, just people that are talking about being in Halifax that you kind of didn't really expect, but why not? And we are going to, because the voluntary community sector are so close to communities, so much part of our lives, and many of you play a part in that world. Many of you, and thank you to all the council colleagues, NHS colleagues, play a part in your lives in supporting, whether it's through governance terms, through volunteering, the voluntary sector. One of the things we know is we want to take that to the next level. to bring that together. And the voluntary sector told us that and told our LGA team that, and we are really up for that. And there's two of our councillors for Mythe and Royd, actually, London, for actually working together, playing a key part in working with our voluntary sector, because we know when times are hard and in a moment of crisis, the voluntary community sector are there, always. We are also beginning, interestingly, do play a part in this review about the future of the council and the number of councillors, reflecting the community in Calderdale with a proposal for 54 councillors. Do look at that and do play a part. And two final things. The leader just said we're getting quite psychic here because around the Ofsted visit, I think the leaders covered that really powerfully. I was in one of our outstanding since 2018, outstanding again, children's provisions. The complexity of the work that the staff do there, the pride, 2 to 3 staff for one child often, 24/7. That's a complexity. 351 children last night in our care as the local authority. We're all corporate parents, and we know that those children, unfortunately by definition, are going to face challenges greater than most children and don't have someone to pick them up off the floor or turn to when times are hard. So we all have a part, all of you, to be corporate parents of those children. We have 219 foster carers. It's the most wonderful thing any human being can do, I think. It's not easy. But if you know anyone, please speak to us. Please talk to us. This is Fostering Fortnight. Halifax Park Run will be there with the team again. We were there in Tuddenham last week. Because if we cannot give aspiration to our children, then we will not ever reach our potential as a place. And just huge pride for all the work that we do for our children, because it is unique. And as you come into the door of that provision, there are 3 words on the wall: love, laughter, learning. And I thought, wow, you've done. So that's, and also the word impossible has in it, I'm possible. So that's a good introduction. It's a special place, and we're really proud of what we do. But it's tough work. And finally, I'm going to end it there by saying thank you to everyone for getting us to this position we are as a borough, getting us ready for the next chapter. And I'm going to hand over now for you to hear more about the outstanding year of culture that's to come. Thank you.